today's session is different from the sessions that we have been doing earlier, right? So let me formally first welcome you. Welcome to the Growth Lab, right? And today's session is not about motivation. Let me tell you that. But it is about transformation. See, all the name of our group is the Growth Lab, right? So I want everyone to grow in life. And real growth never comes only from listening, it comes from doing. That is what I was discussing with Dikshansh also, that if he wants to do well in his studies, just listening to his teachers won't help. He must start doing it himself. And when I used to teach, I used to tell students, let's say, how much time do you spend in school? Let's say 6 hours, right? Let's assume that. And you spend 4 hours in your tuitions. So technically, students feel we have been studying for 10 hours. But the truth is, if you studied for 10 hours and you did not do any self study on that day, that means you did 0 hours of study for that day. So, school study, your tuition study is not counted in your studies. The only self study that you did, that is counted. And that will fetch you marks, growth in your academics. Got it? So be mindful of that. So let me share today's session's objective with all of you. What I want is that by the end of today's session, each one of you will commit to one daily disciplined habit that will slowly but surely build your confidence and self belief. Right? So type ready in the chat box if you are ready to grow.
So the chat is disabled.
Chat is disabled. Okay, let me just activate the chat. Yes, I have activated it. Okay. Now, just let's have a show of hands. How many of you have watched a motivational video anytime in your life, felt absolutely fired up, and thought, yes, from tomorrow, everything will change. I'll wake up at 5 a.m., go to the gym, eat healthy, finish that project, and be more confident. Hanji. So if you have felt that way, you can definitely raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you. And don't put your hands down. No, no, no. Keep your hands up if that lasted more than 3 days. Yes, I can see hands coming down. Yeah. So here's the thing. You know, all of us, we have been actually sold a lie. And what is that? We think that confidence is something that strikes us like lightning. That one day we'll wake up and just feel confident. Ah, today is the confidence day. That it comes from a big achievement. Maybe you achieved something big, only then you will be confident. Or people going to the gym, oh, now I have a perfect body now. That will give me confidence. For working people, I can say some kind of promotion or some magical transformation which you are looking for. You know? That is how we been told or we feel about it. But what if I told you that's not how it works at all? What if confidence isn't about the big moments, but about something much smaller, or you can say uh, much simpler? Even I can say about something entirely within your control, right? So today we are talking about confidence through daily choices. How do you like that? Right? So let me start with something that might surprise you. Please attend the session with your videos on because I'll we will be doing a lot of exercises today and I want you to be very much participative in that. So confidence isn't built in grand moments. Let me tell you that. And keep that thing in your head. It is built in daily decisions, not the once in a lifetime decisions, not the dramatic turning points, but the tiny, unsexy, everyday choices that nobody sees or applauds. So, the decision, for example, let us have those small things. The decision to get out of bed when you said you would, or the decision to not gossip when everyone else is doing it, or the decision to drink that glass of water every morning, or the decision to speak up in that meeting, or in your, let's say, in your class, even if your voice shakes. So these moments feel small, insignificant, but they are everything to grow yourself in confidence. So let me please show by your show of hands who all want to grow in confidence. Thank you. Thank you. Let me tell you, there's something we misunderstand about confidence, that confidence is a byproduct of self trust. Think about it. When do you trust someone? When their words match their actions, right? Only then you are able to trust. When they do what they say they'll do, or when they show up consistently. So when you have that feeling for others, the same should apply to you, right? So every time you make a promise to yourself and break it, you say, I'll start exercising tomorrow. I'll complete my homework now. From today, I'll complete all my homework. Or I'll attend my classes regularly. So you send yourself a message. And when you don't do that, so you are sending yourself a message, I can't trust you. Because you promised that you'll complete your work daily. You promise that you'll get up early. You promise that you will take care of your health. You promised that you'll show up in the classes, but you're not doing it. So the message received is this person cannot be trusted. And you know it. You cannot tell lies to your own self, right? You know what you promised, but you didn't do it. And slowly, quietly, your confidence erodes. Not because of what other thinks of you, but because of what you think of your own self. Okay, you can tell me in the chat what is one small promise you have broken again and again. I'm giving you time to answer that. I repeat, what is one promise? Small, even the smallest promise. Now, I'm not asking for any big thing, but you have broken again and again. And I'm not judging anybody, but it's part of the exercise for today. So I'm giving you time to write in the chat box. Please do. I know as students you have broken promises. So please do write it in the chat box and then we'll move further. I want everyone to write. Yeah. Or shall I assume you have never broken your promises? Tell me. Hanji Raghavi. Not broken any promise at all? Dikshansh. Not broken any promises?
Sir, I'm thinking of it right now.
Oh. See, I'm not aware of what you have mentioned to others, but last time you mentioned that you will be more regular in your studies. So, didn't you break that promise? Write it. Even if you have given some promise to your teacher that you will be completing your work on a daily basis, if you are not doing it, that is a break in the promise. Okay. Raghavi has a different take. Fine. Agreed. Now, let me tell you one thing. I'm not asking you that because I want to show you as if you have failed. No, this is not a failure, but this is training. See, you have trained your brain not to trust you, right? And we are today, actually, we are beginning retraining of your brain, right? So, everyone, take 30 seconds and rate yourself honestly from 1 to 10. Okay? Now, what are the questions to you? Now, 1 being the best, 10 being the worst. Okay? You have to rate yourself from 1 to 10. 1 is the best, 10 is the worst. First question to you. So, in the chat box, you have to only mention the number, not the answer. Okay? Do you do what you promise yourself? If you say 1, that means every time you are following it. If you say 3, let's say, so that is like 70% you do it and only 30% you don't do it. And if, okay, so if somebody says 8, obviously that is a bad situation, right? Even if somebody says 6, even that is a bad situation because it's not even 50%. So 60% of the times a person is not able to follow what the person promises. Okay. Second question. Do you finish what you start? Okay. Okay. Mhm. Number 3. Do you show discipline even when no one is watching. Okay, perfect. See, now looking at that chat, now this is not a judgment, let me tell you, but this is awareness. Growth always begins with awareness. First of all, we should know what we are doing wrong, isn't it? And just by asking these three questions, I'm sure you have understood what wrong you do, isn't it? So, see, if your number is low, I'm not asking you to feel bad about it. I just want you to know what is your clear starting point. For example, a little while ago, when I was talking to Dikshansh, and I was mentioning him that, for example, if he's attempting an accounts question, leaving it all together, not attempting it is not a good idea. Let's say there are 10 steps in that question. Maybe he's not able to complete the question, but he's able to do 4 steps properly. So at least he knows what is the level of his knowledge and what he needs to revise or what it needs to get it done with his tutor. Right? So he gets the starting point. Because let's say he's if he though he's able to do those 4 steps, but he tells his teacher, oh, I could not do this question. So his teacher is basically, you can say, consuming his time repeating those 4 steps also, which Dikshansh already knows. But if he has completed those four perfectly, the teacher has can simply begin with step number 5, and then he'll be able to cover more, isn't it? So that is why we need to have a clear starting point. Okay, let me give an example. Now, this is about Anjali, one of my past students. Currently, now she's 28 years old, works in HR, always anxious about presentations. So she would tell herself, I'll prepare early this time. Like when you receive your projects from school, assignments from colleges, you say, okay, I will not wait till the deadline, but complete it well in advance. But then she would procrastinate, prepare the night before, and panic, deliver a mediocre presentation every single time. So, how many of you do that? Completing project at the last minute? Thank you. So, the real issue wasn't Anjali's presenting skills. It was that she had trained herself not to trust herself. She had a track record of broken promises to herself. And when she really got fed up of all this, she tried something different. She made one tiny promise that I'll work on the presentation for just 15 minutes today. Right? Not the whole thing, just 15 minutes. And she kept it. Next day, another 15 minutes. Again, she kept it. On the third day, something shifted. Not in her presentation skills, but in her belief that she could trust herself. Right? So that is what is the power of, you know, doing things gradually. And that actually changed her confidence. Because, as I told you, small promises kept build self belief. And you see, your brain doesn't differentiate between big and small wins. Every time you do what you said you would do, you deposit in your self trust account. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you withdraw from it. And confidence is the balance in that account. So, this is why that viral motivational video doesn't work. It asks you to make massive withdrawals from an account that's already overdrawn. You commit to 10 new habits, break 9 of them, and feel even worse about yourself. But if you start small, if you make one promise and keep it, you are building, you're depositing, you're creating evidence that you're someone who follows through. So now, each of you will choose only one. Let me tell you, only one small daily promise, right? Just think about it in your head first. What is the one tiny promise that you want to keep? And it must be so small that your brain cannot say no. Let me say. Example, a person who does not do exercise, a 10 minutes walk. Like Raghavi said that she is not able to do meditation regularly. I understand that. Maybe she expects her to do meditation, let's say, for 10 minutes. So I would say, make a promise to do it for 1 minute tomorrow. Just 1 minute. Then the next day, again 1 minute. On the third day, again 1 minute. So when she's able to do it consistently for 1 minute, we'll say now increase it to 2 minutes. So she is only keeping small promises, a minute promise, 2 minute promise. But what is it building? It is building a habit in herself because she's doing it daily. Let's say if somebody loves reading but is not able to read, I would say, okay, read 1 page daily. Don't think about reading the whole book, but 1 page. You know, when you say, I'll complete this book in 1 month, so you are like creating a big promise for yourself. You might not be able to complete it, but instead, you say, oh, I want to read this book. I love this book, the content of it. Okay, I'll read 1 page daily. So gradually you are, you know, maybe a few days you read only 1 page, but as you progressed, you started loving the story, the events happening in that book, and you might end up reading more. And gradually you're able to finish the book. Or let's say you want to put in extra time for your study hours, right? But you're not able to do it. So you say, okay, bhai, I study for only 1 hour. I want to increase more time so that exams are coming. So you said, okay, today I will study 10 minutes extra. Maybe for 3 days you started studying only 10 minutes extra, but then you gradually increase to 20 minutes. And slowly the time will increase. So that is the suggestion. Or let me tell you, for many, many students. Okay, I'll tell you a real life story of one of my students. He was an addict of mobile phone, right? Though he was a good student, but and he used to have fights constantly with his mother. Mom used to say, stop using the mobile phone, you are spending too much time, but he would not agree. थोड़ी देर के लिए तो करता हूं. Okay, but then one day he did not score well in his exams. Now, because he was a good student, he was not ready to accept that he could not score. So, what he did, he went to his mother and gave up his mobile phone himself. Aka, mom, now I will take it after my board exams. Mama was surprised. Okay, ठीक है. But you know what he told me after a few days? Exactly the same thing. Ki sir, Mama used to say I spend so much time, but I never used to agree. But but I don't know what came over me. I gave my phone to my mom, and I now I'm feeling I have so much time to devote to my studies. And that realization came in just a week. And then he said, okay, now I'm not using my phone for the rest 2 to 3 months, because around 3 months exams were. And see, the person who was scoring so average in his first board scored 90% in his 12th board exams. What was the change? He just gave up his mobile phone. And the extra time that he got, he spent on his studies. That is what is. So type your one commitment in chat. I want to read what is that one small promise that you want to make to yourself. I would like to read one small promise that you want to begin with from today. It should be so small कि तुम्हें लगे okay, will you be able to manage an hour daily more? Or you think it is so small a decision that you can keep it up? Okay. What about the rest? I want to see some everybody's answers here in the chat box. What is one commitment? One small commitment. Let me tell you, I'm not talking about huge commitments. The smallest one that you can do, which can make a change in your life. Okay, cool. 3 minutes is a good start. Fine. Now, I know what I can guess. You might be thinking, I need motivation first to start doing all this. Isn't it? Once I feel motivated, then I'll be disciplined, right? That happens na? To do something different, we feel, okay, motivation should be there. Wrong. The truth is, discipline creates confidence, not motivation. Because we are working on confidence now, so motivation is a feeling. It is unreliable. It comes and goes like daily weather, unpredictable and often disappointing. Discipline is a decision. It is showing up even when you don't feel like it. Maybe like coming to the session, yaar, aaj man nahi kar raha, I don't want to go. But then, no, 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 I should go. Some sir will have something important, something interesting to share. I should go. That is a decision. So you came and attended the session without the motivation. But because discipline was there, a decision was taken that we have to attend every session. Right? So even let's say nobody is at home, mom is not there, father is not there to tell you, to remind you, but you still joined on time. Even when you are uncomfortable, because you were not feeling good enough to join, motivated enough, I should say, to join today, but you still are attending. That means you are making yourself uncomfortable. Let me tell you a beautiful truth. The more you practice discipline in small things, the more confident you become in big things. Let me repeat it. The more you practice discipline in small things, the more confident you become in big things. So when you've proven to yourself that you can wake up on time, drink enough water, take that walk, finish that chapter, complete meditation, suddenly that big scary goal doesn't feel impossible anymore because you have evidence. You've seen yourself follow through. You are taking tiny steps. You are seeing yourself. You are doing. You are committed. So confidence isn't, I think I can do this. No, confidence is, I have done hard things before and I can figure this out too. And that track record, you know, you build it daily. And in those choices that nobody see. So which brings me to saying that daily alignment strengthens identity, right? So every choice you make is a vote for the kind of person you are. You are not what you say you are. You are what you repeatedly do. If you say you value health, but consistently choose junk food and no movement, you don't actually value health, isn't it? By let's say you go, Dikshansh, go to the gym, and then after coming out of the gym, just opposite the gym, there is a chole bhature shop. And then he eats 2 plates of chola bhatura daily. Is it actually valuing health? No. So that means if you say you value health, your actions should prove that. If you say you value your academics, your actions should prove that. Like we say, you don't study for your parents, you study for your own self. If you are attending this session, you are not attending it for me. You are attending it for your own self, right? So, when your daily choices align with the person you want to be, that's when transformation happens. When you choose to set a boundary, even though it's uncomfortable, you are voting for self respect. See, when you don't follow or keep your own promises, let me tell you, you lose your own self respect. You lose your own trust. Somewhere in your heart, you know you are not at all trustworthy. But when you choose to start that project, even though you are scared, you are voting for courage. When you choose to keep that small promise, even though no one else knows, you are voting for integrity. I'm not asking you to tell your parents that what promise you made today in the session. It is only known to you. But if you're keeping it, that shows your integrity, and every vote counts. So let me ask you to write it down something. Please open your pens and notebooks. I'll say the sentence slowly so that you can write it down. If I stay disciplined daily, please write it. If I stay disciplined daily, I will become, I will become a person who is, and now complete the sentence yourself. First, complete it. I repeat the sentence. If I stay disciplined daily, I will become a person who is, and complete the sentence and then type it in the chat box also. For example, you might say, I will become confident. You might say, I will become disciplined. Anything that comes to your mind. Because you know what is the small goal that you have chosen and what will be the outcome of it. What will be your feeling. So just write that word in the chat box. You don't need to write the complete sentence, but what you have put in the fill in the blank, just mention it. I would love to read it. I would want to know what is the thought. Okay, good. Keep writing, everyone. Okay, good. Nice to know. See, so now you can see your future self forming, the kind of future you want to be, have. So when we talk about daily choices that build confidence, we're also talking about choices that reclaim ourselves. So basically, you're reclaiming yourself. Choosing to take, let's say, 30 minutes for yourself isn't selfish. It's a vote for self worth. Choosing to say no to something that drains you isn't rude. It is a vote for boundaries. Or choosing to pursue your interests, even when family questions it, it's a vote for your identity. So these daily choices might feel small in the moment, but they're revolutionary. Let me tell you that. Because they're rewriting the story you have been told and the story you have been telling yourself. Right? So, before we close today, I want to leave you with this thought. The person you are becoming is being decided right now, not in some future moment when conditions are perfect, but in today's seemingly insignificant choices. Remember, Anjali, I gave an example. The woman who speaks confidently in meetings, she started by speaking up once at dinner. And the one, let's say a woman who runs marathons, she started with a 10-minute walk. And the woman who built a business, she started by keeping one small promise to herself. So, confidence isn't a personality trait you are born with or without. It's not a gift some people get and others don't. Confidence is built daily in the small, unglamorous, ordinary moments where you choose yourself, where you honor your word to your own self, not to me, not to teachers, not to parents, not to friends, but to your own self. If Dikshansh wants to go to Singapore, get admission in the best university, and he has to achieve the eligibility, that's a promise he has to make to himself that come what may, I will achieve the eligibility. It is not for his parents to remind him. It is for him to understand how he will have to schedule his day, what is the kind of hard work he needs to do so that he can earn his own self respect. If you don't do what you promise, you will fall in your own eyes. What to talk of others? So, everyone, please place your right hand on your chest and repeat after me. You can even unmute yourself at this moment, and everyone come on video. At this moment, you are not allowed to switch off the video and say, I promise myself
I promise myself
that I will keep one small promise daily.
that I will keep one
Keep
small
one
promise daily,
small promise daily, not to impress others,
not to impress others,
but to build trust with myself
but to build trust with myself
because I deserve confidence
because I deserve confidence
and I deserve success.
and I deserve success.
Thank you, everyone. This creates, deep memory impact. That is why the exercise. So, there is your call to action for this session. Stop waiting for confidence to arrive. Start building it, one kept promise at a time. Start today. Start small. I would say start now because you don't need permission to become the person you are meant to be. You just need to start making choices that align with you. And trust me, you're already in there. Your destiny is just waiting for you to prove that you are serious about it. So, with that thought, thank you for today's session. And from today, your self discipline is your superpower.